a break because I need to go make more coffee too and refill my. I'm trying to caffeine myself up. I got Dr.
I do.
Pepper in here, which I need to go refill. I got coffee I need to make. Hi, everybody. Hi, Jenny. I see Jenny in the chat.
Yeah, I forgot to do that. We do it every Sunday, go get all our beverages and whatnot, but it's like my water is empty.
I know. Well, that's because we both woke up late, Jenny.
And the coffee is cold. And
Yeah. Well, if you need to go make more coffee or.
I mean, that's full, mind you. I let it sit here because I put it in this room, which is like 10 degrees. And then I just went and started doing crap. And I went and cleaned the bathroom floor and just left this sitting here. And
it just got cold?
Yeah. I'm like, oh, well, I wasn't going to drink the whole thing anyway, so big deal. So
I need to go remake some because I drank a whole pot when I was down there making dinner. When I texted you, I was like, I'm gonna be late. I was making coffee and I drank the whole cup. And I was telling Johnie, I was like, I was so half asleep that I was making my little thing for my grand tableau and I had to scratch it out because it was like so little. I was like, why does it look so small? It's like because you're half awake and you didn't do it right.
I woke up at 5:30 p.m.
I woke up at 6:30, so I was up an hour after you. 1 hour after you, and then I'm texting you, Johnie, I'm gonna be late.
Well, I was in zombie mode, and it's like you just wake up and it's like, what's happening? What's going on? And I went outside and got hit with the cold air. That woke me up a little much.
That woke you up?
Yeah.
I have a question. Do you ever this used to happen to me a lot when I was a little kid, and it hasn't happened to me since I was a little kid, but have you ever fallen asleep during a nap or just fallen asleep in general so hard that when you wake up, you don't know what time of day it is or what day it is? You're so disoriented.
100 times a year. Yes, absolutely.
That happens to me.
Especially during wintertime when you wake up and it's dark at 6 and it's also dark at 6 a.m. too. And so it's like, wait, is it 6:24 a.m. or 6:24 p.m.?
Yeah, I haven't had that happen to me in a long time. But when I was little, I would remember sleeping and not waking up and being disoriented, not knowing what day or time of day it was. But that hasn't happened to me in forever. So, knock on wood, because I don't like that. So Johnny's here tonight, and we're going to he's going to do a grand tableau. He's been doing quite a few on his channel, but we figured we'd both do one. How about that? So
I didn't do any this month for this month's videos, so this will be my one here.
I have quite the list. So if you want to join me again, if you're free, you're up for it, you let me know. So because I got Merrick Garland, Jim Jordan, Monistat, and Biden. So, and I think I'm going to be due for another one for Trump soon because his tableau is good until May. So I think it'll be good to do another one on him because I just saw in the news that Alfred Bragg, I think it's Alfred Bragg, is reopening the Stormy Daniels case.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It only took 6 years, So, and I think it's tied to the whole Alan Weiselberg situation too, So that's coming back around. So
when is what is the date we're setting for Santos?
My tableaus go out a year. I'm not sure how yours work.
Let's see.
You want to give a little rundown for those of us that are not privy?
I don't put a time on it because for instance, the Trump one I did was talking about his past, and then it was also talking about things that happened in the next 2 or 3 weeks. That one that I reposted, for instance, I posted the video the next week. For instance, you would think, okay, this is week 1, no, or that's week 1, no. It was Ivana fell down the steps, or someone had an accident, was down here and not up here. And so I don't know timing wise. I think it's because it's not a technical tableau. It's just a big spread with houses. It's really what it is.
Okay.
And so it's just a tarot spread, and it'll probably cover a month.
A month?
Yes.
Okay. So how do you want to do this? If I see stuff here and you want to help me, and then we can look at it with your tarot and see if we can.
I'll just do the regular tableau and see what comes up in yours, and see if I can find what you find in mine, and so forth and so forth.
Okay. Sounds good. Sounds like a plan. So
let's see.
Johnie, I'm going to run downstairs and refill and grab a coffee while you're doing your thing. Is that okay, sir?
Okay.
Okay.
So for Michael Santos, whatever his name is today.
Anthony, Michael, George, Santos.
Eloise. Let's see. Let's see. Y'all can see that. Alicia Santos. D'accord. Okay. Clear above. Okay. Zen frame. Can we see? Good. All right. Santos. We already got money in house judgment, so you know what that's about. There is apparently a video too of him saying that he lied to everybody. It's like some sort of old video that he lies to people. So he knows he does. This ain't one of those I'm lying because it's compulsive. No, that's what he likes to do. He likes to lie. He likes to lie. It's a mess. Good night, Trillium Tarot. Okay. I got my majors too, so I can follow the chain, see what else is going on. Four, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay. So let's start. So we have the Fool, the Hermit, the Tower, the Star, the Hierophant. There is someone here who is attempting to back him up. It's because there's a disaster about to befall. This is something new because it's in House Empress. The Empress is new, bringing something new into the world. But it's also like the gestation period, or since the Empress is pregnant with the thing, so it's not something that comes out of nowhere. This is one of those things to where, and the Tower, I mean, the Tower is shock and awe, and it feels like it comes out of nowhere, but you don't build this tower overnight. This is something you've been working on, and you've been doing it the wrong way, thus the tower falls. So with it in House Empress, this is something that has been building, but it will be sudden when it hits, kind of like the water breaking type thing. So with the Fool, the Hermit, the Tower, the Star, the Hierophant, there's someone in government, foolish, so probably McCarthy or somebody like that, because the Fool is in House Magician, the manipulator, so someone who has the power to manipulate, especially something behind closed doors. Hermit is in House High Priestess. High Priestess covers secrets and hidden knowledge. And so the Fool, the Hermit, the Tower, someone behind the scenes, is trying to make whatever disaster is about to befall him a little softer. Because here you have the Star, which is in House Emperor, so someone in position of power is trying to make something better for him. And then Hierophant is in House Hierophant, which means he has his government position is still there for right now, because someone here is trying to make it easier. Now, the reason this person gets the Fool is because this is a foolish thing to do. This is not the person you save. This is not the person that you go and sacrifice for. This is not the person that you want to put your neck on the line for. He is not a Donald Trump. He can't help you. He doesn't have the pen. Donald Trump was the pen. So you sort of sacrifice for somebody like that. This is not that person. But with that being said, that means he's probably interconnected with some very powerful people, and whoever this person is wants to keep that relationship healthy too. And so he's here being covered by someone in the government, but some disaster is about to hit in the next few days, probably 3 at the most. So what is today? Is today the Friday news dump? What is today? Today is Friday, so probably Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we will see some story about him having something horrible happen. So indictment or an investigation or something that hits him hard, and then he gets support from someone manipulative in the government. So then you have the Death, the Chariot, the Moon, the Judgment, the Magician. There's going to be a huge change in, well, he's already trying to pull back from committees. This is something he's working on here, or something he should be working on. There's a change in that there is something devious going on. Something is about to resurrect as well, and something is also being manipulated. So you have changes here in House Lover. So there's going to be change in relationships, in committees, and things that he would be working together with people on. The Chariot is in House Chariot, which means he is trying to work together with someone to get out of something that is hard to get out of, which is probably trouble. So he's trying to pull some resources together. Now, this gives me the indication that he is not necessarily some oddball out. This is not an accident that he is here. So there's something he is connected, or someone he is connected to, some sort of powerful people or influential people within the Republican Party. That means he gets all this support, because up here someone's supporting him, up here someone is supporting him. So he's trying to change. He has a huge change in the relationships in the committees, and then a lot of support that he is trying to pull together to change his fate. Because here, the moon is in house strength, which means there's a lot of lies. These lies are being told to gain ground, of course, but with an in-house strength, he is not going to backtrack none of this. This is things that you're going to have to prove first, and then he can admit to it. But this is not going to be backtracked whatsoever. The judgment in-house hermit, which means there's an investigation from the past or something in the past that he is going to be investigated for, because it's secretive as well. So whatever this is, he is going to be investigated for, and it's coming back from the past. Now, if you look around, it may have something to do with health, or someone that he not was in a relationship with as in romantic, but was in a relationship probably business-wise, or they manipulated a system, almost like Social Security or something like that. They manipulated a system somewhere. This is fraud, though. And so that investigation or that story is going to resurrect here, which is why he also is trying to pull things together to keep himself out of trouble. Very big, strong lies. There's also something about a K through 12 program, possibly too, where I don't know if he benefited from it or how he benefited from it, but there's because this is a card of evolution, so K through 12, something to be in academics. So there's something within academics that he's tied to, but it's like a K through 12 program. I don't know exactly what he's pulling from that, but there's something about that here. And so keep that, put a pin in that one. There's something about schools or elementaries or something like that. And then the magician in house Wheel of Fortune, which means manipulation of finance and money, or small sums of money at first, which grow over time. And so this may also be something about stocks, or it could be resources that were not his, that he used to, could be like the dog thing, that he used to enrich himself. Because there's a manipulation of money and a manipulation of resources and a manipulation of money that grows over time. So there's something here that is also going to be investigated, because you have the change, working, lies, judgment, and manipulation. So there's something about a change in name too that is also going to be investigated. Now, whether they do anything about that or if there's anything that comes from that, I don't know. But there's a change in name too, because the Wheel of Fortune can also govern your records. So something about manipulation of records or manipulation of his information, like his name, his birth date, his mother's name, mother's birth date, anybody's manipulation of records. We always, of course, got identity theft, which are manipulation cards here too. So put a pin in that one too. Wheel of Fortune, the High Priestess, the Temperance, the World, the Lovers. There's someone from the past here that is coming with a story either of addiction or a story of, it's something from the past, naturally, because that's all his life is right now. But it's a manipulation of everything. It's just, they come from the past with a plethora of like addictions and people he knew and circles he traveled in and things of that nature. there could be a talk or a group that he manipulated, like a AA meeting, and he went for resources, but he wasn't actually an alcoholic. So it's something like that. So it's a manipulation of addictions and sobriety and healing and that type of thing. There also could be a retreat or a spa or something like that he manipulated to gain resource. So he could have said that he suffered from whatever just to get in this group or to be a part of this thing. This child. So change in secrets from someone he knew. And this is in House Devil. That person is coming. This is not well, I'll say it that way. He's not sincere in just trying to make sure that people know who George Santos is. This is I want to stab him in the back type thing. This isn't a lie, though. It's just revenge, if I'll just use that word. But there's a change in the secrets and the manipulation there. This is somewhere else in the world. There's a whole nother thing brewing for him too, which is probably Brazil. Because this is in House Temperance, which means there's something slowly gaining on him as well. It's going to be more of a problem, especially right now, because it's being ignored. It's not having a lot of attention drawn to it. Isolation with the Hermit. The Moon ignores things, hides and pushes under the rug, pushes it deep in the water. The World, it's obvious, it's the big picture, and then it will come out with the Sun. So it's something that is going to be exacerbated because of the time that is spent ignoring it. So something really huge on another part of the world is growing in strength. There is also here some relationships that will be called into question, especially with a very powerful man here. So this is more than likely have something to do with finance, campaign finance. But a very powerful man, there's going to be some relationships called into question. And if it's not one single man, it's plenty of them type of thing, to where, because I'm pretty sure you're owned by several people, but that's going to come out too. The Hangman, the Devil, the Justice, the Emperor, and the Sun. There's a stall tactic when it comes to looking into a manipulation of the court system by a man here. You may be in place to help protect whoever he is. No, I'm going to take that back, actually. Do we know anything about his father at all? Is he George Santos Jr. by any chance? Because there is manipulation here. This is in House Sun. This person either was a father figure or was once your biological father or uncle, grandpa, something. There is some sort of, you did something in his name. Perspective change, the Devil, Justice. This is official. It's on a piece of paper somewhere. You did something in his name or with his name. Him and her. This is in House World. Your mother is also a person with 3 different names or several different names. She's been in several places. And the only reason, only way she could do that is if she has somebody using her name and so in different circles. So he's used other people's names, and she's been in different countries when she technically has not. So her name has been in different countries, and you used his name for something. I don't know exactly what. It might be a health benefit of some sort, or it may be to gain a loan or something of that nature too. The Fool, the Death, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Hangman. There is something around a death that is being looked at differently. This has a lot of holes in it, so the story's not adding up, and it's probably the 9/11 thing, because this is in House Tower, mind you. It's being looked at differently. So there's something that is about to break with the suspension of this here. So this is about to be looked at differently, and because it has something financial tied to it. That's why it's being looked at differently, which is potential for fraud and that so forth and so forth, because the Wheel of Fortune is in House Justice. So House Justice covers justice, the law, lawyers, legal, judges, anything to do with the law, also honesty, fairness, balance, truth. So there's something here that is getting ready to break when it comes to a death, money, and being looked at differently. And then House Tower. This in House Magician. Manipulation. Death is in House Lovers. Relationship. Justice is, or Tower. This thing is in House Justice. And then House Tower. So the Hermit, the Chariot, the High Priestess, and the Devil. There is somewhere you used to live that is going to be reporting something you used to do. So here with the Hermit, this is your isolation. You are also living situation with someone with the Chariot card. They were not necessarily friends. This is more of a roommate situation. The High Priestess and the Devil. So there's something in secret, but this feels very cultish with these two cards. So I don't know if you joined one, and that is going to also spill out in the streets. But there's something very cultish about this, or very secret society like. You may have tried to join a secret society and it didn't quite work out, but there's something here hidden in the dark. It's very devious, but it's cultish. Like very, very, very secretive, very cultish. And that's someone's going to shed some light on that. Devil is in House Star. So there's also some manipulation of health or health resources as well, like medication type health. So I don't know if you sold, especially with the money card right above it. I don't know if you sold drugs or sold pills is what I mean, if that type of thing. So you may have been getting someone's medication and selling it. The Tower, the Moon, the Temperance, and the Justice. There is going to be some forced exposure, which does bring an actual case. Well, let me backtrack. It brings the potential for a case. You still need people to actually follow through. You know, you can indict or say indictment around him and Trump all day long, but if nobody actually does anything, then it means nothing. But there's some exposure of treachery in someone you worked with or a whole coalition of you, and then justice. The Star, the Judgment, the World, and the Emperor. You do have someone here, especially Emperor or Star in House Emperor, and then the Emperor in House Sun. Someone is very successful here with getting you a platform and getting you a bigger platform. So this person is in your corner. Whoever, this is why he's not going to necessarily go down as easy as he should. There's someone in his corner here. And this is why it started out with that being a very foolish thing to do. But someone is in his corner here. The Hierophant, the Magician, the Lovers, and the Sun. Someone in the government is in his corner too. This person is more likely in business. This person is in the government. And so he has some people that he can call upon, which again gives me the indication that he is not just some random guy. He's got people in his corner. That's what I get for right now.
That was brilliant. That was brilliant. Thank you so much.
I need a drink.
I refilled mine. Oh, and look what my fat ass got. Hold on. I'm going to switch us back so you can see. When I went downstairs, look what I got myself, Johnie. Look at that. I went to Target the other day, and they had the I think it's a Target brand. I've only seen it at Target. A thing of like cheesecake, but it comes with different varieties.
Mm-hmm.
So there's regular cheesecake, like 2 slices of regular cheesecake, a chocolate cheesecake. This one's Oreo, and then the other one is strawberry, but they're all mixed into the same, thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, that looks delicious. So I bought it. Yep.
I have Oreos.
You have Oreos?
Cheesecake sounds good too. But I did go to the Seas Candy. Got this thing. And so that's what I've been.
Hold on, let me see. I'm making you bigger. Oh, those lollipops.
Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, I got a whole thing of this too, because I took my niece and we went over there. And I'm like, well, how many pieces fit in the box? And she's like, well, like 20, 22, something like that. I'm like, okay, well, that's what we're going for, lady. So let's go.
There's a Seas Candy down the street from me, and it's like, at the bottom of the hill.
Mm-hmm.
And we get a discount for.
And I ain't even a big Seas Candy person, but.
Yeah, I try not to go in there because it's like next thing you know, you spend $25, $30 on chocolate candies, and it's seriously,
mm-hmm. This when we left out of there, it was. I just had my receipt over here. It was like $120 or something like that.
On Seas Candy, Johnie?
Because I got me one, I got my brother one, then I got my niece whatever she wanted. And then I just started picking up stuff, and I'm like, stop it. This is not free.
Hey, you know what though? If there's any consolation, it is Valentine's month. So there you go.
Yeah, they definitely did a markup. I bet you.
Those bastards.
Well, and it's all gone, man. Mind you, this is empty.
That's empty.
Yes, it's got a sucker stick in it. That's why the noise is going.
No. I'm trying to be good about the cheesecake. Peanuts already had like 3 slices, and he's like, it's my blood sugar. So I was like, God dang it, I just bought that like 2 days ago. I've had like 1 slice, And it's not like I can go and hide it in the closet. It's cheesecake, Like I have a stash here of like candy that I hide from him because he'll eat it all. I'm a horrible wife. So, Johnie, feel free to jump in and ask me questions at any time, because I'm gonna need some help with this one because it's just a wonky mess.
Okay, I'm a mute for now, and then I'll unmute if I have a question.
Okay. So, Grand Tableau, he's here. On the 3rd row, he's sitting on house crossroads. 2 men, multiple men. Okay. Down this column here, there is this could be a job loss where he is delayed, a job loss where he is blocked. There's some sort of a job loss where he can't get anywhere and he suffers. Cross is right below that. I can't fit everything into the frame. Also, this could be in regards to an investigation, some sort of danger coming his way where he is blocked or delayed. The first part of this tableau, Johnie, which I'm wondering if you got anything like this. This right here is talking about some sort of huge problem that is about to come forward in regards to quite possibly a certificate of death that was lied about and manipulated, that he knows about, or he tried to cover up for some sort of a reward. Okay.
Yeah, that's all right there.
And then right here, I'm getting confusion and problems around a new identity that we're going to be hearing about, or there's going to be a lot of gossip around this. Right here, down this column, this is usually a hospital, but since it's landing so close to this woman here, and she sits above Bear, and this is talking about fraud of some sort in regards to quite possibly a death certificate. I'm wondering if there's something also that will be discovered, perhaps with like life insurance or something like that. Because this is death in the family. It sits in house. A relationship or an agreement that was negotiated. There's your corporation or your institution that is public, okay, for the public. And then tree in the house of man, health. And it's like almost like he became the beneficiary. If you look down this column here, there's rewards or gifts that were stolen or missing, and he got an opportunity that came from this woman. So I'm wondering if there's something around a woman's death certificate, perhaps of some sort, older woman, quite possibly the mother in the house. His corners are, there's huge trouble here in regards to gifts and rewards, things that he was awarded, that made him very successful, that gave him a great deal of opportunity and made him very enthusiastic about what he was able to say. But there's also problems in the center around agreements and negotiations with certain people that are I don't want to, you should exercise caution around these sort of people is what I'm trying to say. And his network is very widespread, but these people are
potentially dangerous.
Yeah, because here you're seeing a suspicious friend, and then there's a financial institution here. He's got snake over here, over the top of him. So this is a liar. And then if you follow it this way, there is news of something new that's moving forward through, this could be a person, it's the lilies, it's sitting on house whip. It could be an older man. His relationship with that person, that is quite dangerous, but also a thief. And then the network here that benefited from it, also something in social media. That's right here. But this way here, it's showing him, the ship, and the storks. Now, this could be also a couple of ways to look at that, saying that he transfers and moves, like moves away. Because this is abroad, but it's also enterprise. And then this is a move with the storks. Up here, you have the letter in the house of ships. So the results of some sort of enterprise that he was involved in. But that enterprise, stuff is missing from it. It was taken away. It was stolen. Does that make sense? And in this tableau, he's got anchor and fish mirroring each other and crosses in its own house. So how he achieved the money, the transactions, the shopping, and then guilt that comes out of that, punishment that comes out of that. It shows several on the line of fate, several instances of like fines. Did you get like life insurance fraud or something like that? You did.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, I had you on mute while I was shuffling and setting it up.
Absolutely did.
You did. Okay, so he knights here to ring. He knights to, what is this, garden? He knights to tree, and he knights to sun. So his relationship or his link to a certain network of people, agreements and negotiations that were made with people and also a campaign in social media. His growth success, but also something around his health. And then he also knights to snake, so he's a liar who has secrets about the transactions and the money, because he knights to snake, book, and fish. So I'm wondering, because right down this column, it says that the enterprise that he got comes from two different sources that could be women, because Crossroads sits below Bear. So it's what is this? The letter, the lilies, the woman, and the bear. So, and because letter is sitting on house ship, the results of those resources from this older woman that was his mother, and then how it got there. But there's more than one woman where he's getting money from, and older as well.
Okay, because see, here's what I got to.
Okay, hold on. Let me make you bigger. 1 second, Johnie.
And so that's interesting too, because I just figured it's her, because Empress only have two people cards technically, the Emperor and the Empress. He's represented by the Fool, but I got the Empress in House World, and I said that she is in different places. She is in multiple places. So either multiple women or his mother's identity has been put in different countries.
Yep. Because if you look at down this column here, it's letter, lilies, woman, bear, crossroads. So the letter is anything that is written and documented. We're talking mails, we're talking tests, results, anything that you file with the coffin here, death certificates, certificate of death. An older woman, so I'm wondering if it's his mom and his grandma, or his mom and an aunt, or someone close to the family, and there's two of them, because the woman knights to birds, which is usually an older couple. And then, but it's also a card of doubles. And then you have the crossroads. It's woman, bear, crossroads. So he's got two sources of income from two matriarchs, if that's, you see what I'm saying?
Because over here, he's got death records. They're here.
Oh, really?
One of them may have been someone who apparently died in the tower as well. But when death and house lovers can indicate you're two people too, because that's like part of Gemini.
It's almost like there's two women that are parental in a way, that he's getting resources from. That's where he got the opportunity. That's where he got the enterprise. And then there's a confusion and the problem around a new identity this way.
Oh, make yours bigger again.
Oh, sorry. Because he's got Tower in the House of Garden, this is an institution that is public or for society. It's got lilies over here. Okay, lilies has to do with the mature, the older people. I'm wondering if he was running, like, because there's two sources of income that he's being rewarded, that he got lucky on from this woman, besides what's directly above her head, which could indicate a death record. I'm wondering if it's also like some sort of social security thing, because over here on this column, it shows gifts or rewards that go to this network of people in the public. Does that make sense?
Yep, I got that too.
You got social security scam too? What a fucking idiot. I mean, if you committed that much crime, stay out of the limelight, because they're bound to dig you up. Let me see. But I'm wondering, losses of friendships here, or losing trust. This is right what's on his mind directly. A friend or an ally, a loss, and then theft here. Right now, he's looking for a new direction or which way to go to distance himself, but also the widespread stuff that he was trying to block. This is Stars in the House of Mountain. There was a delay that kind of bursts open, and then him, and then foreign. So him taking a trip, him going on vacation, him, this could be something as simple as a car, and also enterprise that's missing and stolen, ship in the house of fish, ship in the house of mice. Here, below him, opportunities are delayed. And then for something that he was desiring in regards to his success. But not only that, like he was super passionate about something. Here, losses and anxiety, as well as stress, but it's resources that are stolen. Mice in the house of mice in the house of bear, and then bear goes back up here to ship. So there's resources that he stole. Hold on. I need to, where would I look? Where would I look? Because here it shows, because I'm seeing the mom and another older woman here. So I don't know if his mom has two identities, if it's his mom and his grandma, his mom and an aunt. I don't know. But if I follow this line here, thief, that a sudden loss, sudden thievery. There's an older man, probably, older man. Tower, or I'm sorry, mountain in the house of lilies. Lilies is the king of spades. That's an older man. So it's not just the old man that he stole the checkbook from. I'm getting, we know about that because that's been reported. Insurance, quite possible fraud, possible Social Security fraud, because this is a hospital as well. Some sort of Medicare fraud or insurance fraud. Something wrong around death certificates. And that's where he was pulling his money from. But there's down here, it's talking about negotiating with families about resources for health to gain opportunity, but then he's blocked here. With the birds is communications, phone calls, meetings, dates, that sort of stuff. I'm wondering if he was also running some sort of like a scam for health stuff for families. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because here it says talking to families, finances here, health, opportunity for him, and an opportunity for a woman, because Lily's, the clover sits on housewoman, and then there's problems and delays here. Over the woman. The results of the investigation. this is the investigation into him that's current right now, because this is his current line. That's sitting on house clouds, which is what opens up the read. So I would say within the next month or two, something happens, because if this is the investigation, there's the secrets and everything that he's been covering up, which sits in house snake. Snake is in house tree. Tree goes back to him. And he is sitting on house crossroads too. So let me see, hold on. How did I do that, Johnie? Okay, so 876, 6 to 1. Let me follow this chain. Hold on. 6. Oh, I'm sorry. 14 to 6 to 1 to 10 to 14. Okay, so it goes Fox to Clouds to Rider to Scythe to Fox. Okay. It's like it's coming really fast, because this is fraud, manipulation, but it's also the card of employment. Problems and confusion, a lot of chaos, news of a rupture or a separation. So it's coming fast. And then he's got the law right here. Hold on, let me see this one. So it goes 26 to 7 to 5 to 28 to 22 to 33 to 2, 29, 19, 20, 16, 21, 30, 11, 18, 13. Holy shit, this is long. 8, 4, 26. Okay, so it goes book to snake to tree to man to crossroads to key to clover to woman to tower, garden, stars, mountain, lilies, whip, dog, child, bouquet, coffin, and then house, and then back around. So that's the chain around this secret. So hold on. He knows, or he has knowledge of, or he's keeping a secret about how he lied about something in regards to health, where he made a choice to get access, to give himself opportunity through a woman that is in some sort of program that is for the public. And it for the public. So that would be like Social Security. And then stars, hold on. And then it says that he was trying to find a new direction, but he hit a problem, like a blockage of some sort of a delay. Old problems, old arguments. and it's whip and dog. So that could also be in regards to abusing a dog, abusing a pet, something like that. A critical friend. And then new rewards of some sort, new gifts for a death in the family. And this is right over his head. So he's, with the mice right here, he's super worried. He's super, super worried about resources that he stole. Where did he steal it from? Here, the public. And with the garden, it's not just the public. It could also be a campaign. But here it says that he's a thief. Thief, man. Opportunistic. And then opportunity came from her in government, or her in some sort of legal capacity, if that makes sense. There's an agreement here too with her, but hold on. Right here, to get both of them to talk. Letter, fox, woman, and man. Something around her records from abroad, because this letter is sitting on ship abroad, or her enterprise. Okay. Fraud. That paperwork is fraudulent. And then him. 2 women and him. 2 men and him. And then guilt and punishment and suffering. But there's a thievery of resources and finances that are in that record. Financial record, bear sitting on house, letter sitting on house, ship. So it's, and then because ship is sitting so close here to garden, I'm wondering if some, and this is garden is sitting on cloud stars. I'm wondering if part of the finances that he was able to give to his campaign came from some sort of a scheme where he was defrauding the benefits of a woman or 2 women. Did you get that too, Johnie?
Yes, he has a campaign problem here, as you just said.
Hold on. Let me make you bigger. Sorry.
You got public money, but it has something to do with, because death is in house lovers. So there's relationships in death. And then there's a relationship here in devil. So in house devil. So there's something he stole from a relationship. That relationship is someone that has died. Also public money. This world is public, and then this is money. It's also official because it's in house justice. So there's like forms you have to fill out.
Yeah.
And so it's something official, also has something to do with records, because Wheel of Fortune is time. It's also technology, governs your records. So there's some sort of records here too. So yes, I got the same thing.
Because I have it here too. Let me see. There's the government. It sits next to this woman. She sits on house tower. So there's a woman that has something legal. Paperwork, tower, knights here to, what do you call this? Letter. There's legal official paperwork, tower, united up here, goes to snake. That paperwork is false. And not just false paperwork. There's also something false here around a certificate of death.
Mm-hmm.
And there's 2 institutions. Tower is sitting on house garden. So it's a public institution. With this, it would be a hospital or life insurance. And then tower, if you unite it, knights down here to crossroads, multiple institutions or double. And then it knights here to fish, banks. This is also banks. So it's like, it's almost like these false records coming from several institutions. It was almost like he was the benefactor of this woman or these women in some capacity. I'm wondering if they're going to find that insurance fraud, Social Security fraud. Because right down this line, not just end of work, but that's fraud right here. And manipulation, cunning, accident, something quick that happens suddenly that causes you a loss. And it sits on house. What is this? Box right above it. So it's reiterating it again. And then him. And he knows about the lies. And he knows the amount of trouble that he's in. So he's shitting his pants. And that's why I'm getting this. Do you get that he tries to go somewhere? Man, ship, and stork. So it's almost like I said earlier, the ship is also enterprise. Okay. But it's also, ship is sitting on house mice and letter is sitting on house ship. So the results of this enterprise, but it could also be paperwork, like passports to travel. So man travels and moves this way with these three. Does that make sense? It's almost like, so, and with these, like we were talking about earlier, tower to letter and tower to snake and tower to crossroads and fish, not just banks and institutions, but I'm wondering also if it's his passports or his visas are false, because there's trouble here around a new identity. Did you get that about him moving, Johnie?
I got travel. I don't have a broad travel, but I do have him here because he's represented by the fool instead of the emperor. There's something with his father. I don't know exactly what, but there is him moving here. I'm trying to find safe haven, so I don't know where that would be to him, but this is the person he tries to flee to or wants to go to. So I don't know where this, now mind you, the emperor always comes up as foreign leader for me, but that's usually in just regular political context. But he does want to go somewhere because this is the travel card. But this would indicate like worldwide, but there's some sort of safe haven for him here.
I mean, you can't go back to Brazil. They already know where you are, and they just reopen an investigation. You know, because I'm getting man travels and moves. But when I look back at the letter, it could also indicate as well that either it's his visa or his naturalization papers or something, it's wrong. There's something problematic and false in those records. I didn't follow him around the chain, did I? Let me see. 28, 22, 33, 2, 29, 19, 20, 16, 21, 30, 11, 18, 13, 9, 8, 4, 26, 7, 5, 20. Damn, that's a long chain. An important decision, or he has two ways to access something from a woman that gives, he has multiple ways to access something for himself, to win, to take a risk, to have opportunity with a woman that has something to do with social government, so like Social Security. And then this is the word. Old arguments with the friend. And it's like the family knows. I don't even know. Johnie, do you have is it possible to do a quick yes no with
What's your question?
because I'm just trumped up right here because I'm looking at it a few different ways and I'm like super tired. Like we talked about before, and you got it too. So I'm wondering if he's planning and strategizing, because if I box him in right here, it shows that he is shitting his pants about the resources that he stole. Okay. And he's nervous, if you look above him, about the secrets of his lies around something to do with health of a woman. Okay. So it's man, ship, stork. So I'm wondering if he's planning to skedaddle, because House sits far away from him, and it's like he's blocked. He can't go there because the only way to get him to talk to House, I have to go whip to man to mountain to House. He can't go to his homeland. There's arguments there, and he's blocked from it somehow. Do you see what I'm saying? The move, the storks is sitting on House. Heart is sitting on sun. Sun is sitting on moon, which sits. Let me follow this.
Yeah, again, there's a safe haven of some sort. Now, I don't know where it is, but yes, there's somewhere he wants to go eventually.
If I follow his chain around, it goes, or the storks, because the storks would be a move. It goes storks to heart to sun to moon and then back to storks. So it's like it could just be saying that he's desiring to move, but it's man and ship. It's man, ship, stork. So it's almost like he tries to distance himself and go somewhere. Move. It's like right now he's in a place where he can't do anything, but as soon as that opportunity pops up, it's almost like he takes it, because he's followed by 2 action cards right behind him. This guy is like what do they call him? That movie Catch Me If You Can is what they've been saying on the TV about him. He's like an international fraudster. The desire to move. The sun. The sun would be somewhere hot. The moon would be somewhere romantic. So it's almost like there's a desire to move somewhere hot that is romantic. Where the fuck would that be?
With no extradition.
Somewhere that doesn't have extradition. Dog, knights to ship. That's China. If we're talking foreign places, dog and ship is China. Let me see what's around the ship though. China doesn't have extradition, does it?
I wouldn't think so.
Desire to move somewhere. Hot. The sun and the moon. The sun and the moon. Okay, hold on.
Somewhere with the beach.
Well, the beach would be the ship. Well, the ship.
Because if it's hot and pretty, then it may be somewhere romantic. It may be somewhere like that. Somewhere that has either a beach or some sort of water feature.
Mm-hmm. Somewhere where with the ship and storks. He has to get there by plane, obviously, because the ship is travel. Storks is by air. Travel by air. Let's see. How else can I look at this, Johnie? Yeah, but is China even letting people go there? Somewhere hot and romantic. I don't even know.
Maybe Africa somewhere. Let's say he's mixed. Somewhere in Africa. It's hot there.
I don't know.
And storks are native to Asia and Africa.
Well, we have them. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Somewhere hot and romantic where he can't be taken out. Where there's, like you said, like where there's no extradition. I don't even know where that would be. I mean, pick a place. The world is huge, you know?
That's if he can even leave.
Exactly. But here, it doesn't. Right now, let me make this. Sorry, let me make this bigger. Right now, this is his present line. Right now, he's not moving at all. Okay, he's blocked. But as soon as there's an opportunity, he's going to take it this way. Man travels and moves. Could also just be that there's a change or an improvement to his enterprise. Ship is on house mice. There's something about travel that gets taken away, though, or that he's nervous about. Ship on house mice and mice above ship. So he's nervous about something to do with travel and relocation. I'm telling you, he's probably not a proper fucking U.S. citizen. The storks is pregnancies and birth. And it's not like this goes away anytime soon either, because the cross is right next to him or right below him. It's within reach. And he's got all these negative cards in his current line. So typically the closer cross is, the easier it is for you to, the suffering is still suffering, but it alleviates over time. Not in this case, because he's got the whole weight of the mountain falling over the cross. So it's like it almost breaks that rule. Do you see what I'm saying? So like instead of short-term suffering, this is like long-term, really, really long-term, and a lot of business problems, financial problems. Crossroads, anchor, fish, and cross. So it's like penalties, punishment for how he was able to achieve, how he was able to get his money. That's what the punishment is for. So. Maroon. Birds nights to woman, birds nights to crossroads. Negotiating or talking with two women. Or phone calls that were made, several phone calls that were made on behalf of a very important woman because she was the key to get opportunity for money. Let's see, woman to child, woman to dog, woman to key. Okay, woman to child, the mother, friendly, loyal, important, dead. That's where she nights. He's got tree on his house too, and he's within distance of the tree as well. But it's not, it's almost like it's not him. Because he nights to tree, but the tree is closer to woman. The tree sits back on his house. So it's this woman that was isolated, that had something health related that could have been metastasizing and spreading. There was financial opportunity here for her health and several ways to secure income, more than one way. And that tree goes back to him. So he was like the beneficiary in some way, or perhaps not, but he forged it. Do you see what I'm saying? And I only say forged because of this up here and how he nights to it. 876. Snake goes back to tree. Lying about health. He did. What a maroon. There's something else I should be looking at, John?
So I followed his chain.
Hold on, let me make you bigger.
Because he's going to be represented by the Fool here. And so I get Magician, the Wheel of Fortune, Justice, the Moon, Strength, and the Fool. I said something here earlier about a program in school or some kind of school program or K through 12 program or something like that. There's some manipulation around some services that are supposed to be for children or something like that. But here, there's also some manipulation around records because I get the Wheel of Fortune and the Justice. There's either records or it's, I'm saying records. There's an identity problem. And it stems from childhood. So someone here within his childhood, he has their identity as well, or has used their identity as well, or he's currently doing it too. Because this would in all of this, since there is no Six of Cups, this would represent the kid, the free spirit wanderer type thing. So these are your children in this tableau. So he has somebody's identity from childhood, or he is using someone's identity currently for something. And it may not even be in this country necessarily, but his identity runs parallel.
And it's interesting that you say that, because I get that here in the first column as well. But everybody that they've interviewed that has known him, that has come forward from Brazil and prior roommates here in the US, say that they have never known him as George Santos ever. That they've only known him as Anthony DeVolder, which supposedly DeVolder is his mother's maiden name.
It's not very Brazilian.
Yeah, how he came up with the name George Santos is yet to be, unless George Santos is the identity he took from somebody that died,
I'll follow the mother here and see. Empress, world temperance. That's public money or public health something. Temperance. Temperance is death. And that is ours. Lovers is devil. Devil is star. Star is emperor. Emperor is sun. Sun is judgment. Long chain. Judgment is hermit. Hermit is high priestess. High priestess is hangman. Hangman is tower. Tower is empress. That's where it stops. Okay. So the way that would read, it's the whole deck pretty much. So you have the world, there is a view or something bigger picture, because you have the temperance in the death. So there is something to look at when it comes to the recovery of someone or something that has something to do with death. So there may also be, again, Social Security, because he's using someone's identity. And it's not even necessarily just her, but someone could have been given money because of a disability.
Yeah, and it's funny because it's like, I don't get that he's using her identity. I get that he's, if I'm interpreting this correctly, that he has been abusing the mom, and benefits that go to her from falsifying records so that he can be the beneficiary. Or do you see what I'm saying? So more like Social Security, life insurance, maybe Medicare, Medicaid, a scam like that. But I don't get that he's using her identity. I get that he falsified paperwork around her to steal the money.
Yes.
Okay. Just so we're clear. Okay.
And then there is relationships here. He did something with someone here that has something to do with alchemy. So drugs, as I said over here, he's selling drugs, or he was selling drugs, or selling someone's medication. And there is a man here that he has connected with that has put him in the position he is in. And there is your resurrection of the past, and because something's going to be illuminated because of someone he was doing something with here about selling drugs or making something of that nature. Also, remember I said I think he also manipulated a AA meeting or some sort of meeting about addictions or abuse too. So he's in some sort of group. The world is your group. Your temperance is sobriety, especially if you have the devil. So he abused some sort of group here, and that person is also going to resurrect too. There's secrets that are going to be blown open, especially about a mother in the tower. So there's some secrets there or some more information that's going to be looked at because they're not going to accept that his mother died in 9/11. There's also some sudden new information. That's how the tableau started with the hermit in the tower. Next week, possibly, in the next 3 days, so Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday, there's something here coming up that he thought was silent. But someone's looking into it, as in hermit is in house high priestess. That's not where you want your hermit if you're trying to hide something. So he's got around his mother, there is the manipulation of death records and things of that nature. And then there's also the manipulation of a sobriety group and selling of pills and someone from the past that he was doing devious things with. Also blows open some new information out of revenge. This boy.
And the funny thing is,
Father around.
I mean, I'm telling you, man, this, like, if you know, okay, for the person that was asking in the chat, I forgot what the question was, but there was something on there, like something about him being involved with Jenny Thomas and stealing money or whatever, if I remember the comment correctly. No, that's not what I get here. That theory is not supported in this tableau. And if you look at him, and you box him in, right here, it says thieving, man, opportunistic. Okay? So I don't get that. I don't get that he's a spy or anything like that. I don't get that he's working with foreign agents to spy on the U.S. government. I don't get that. I get that the guy is simply a thief and a fraud that is opportunistic. Does that make sense? So he's just a freaking, he's a thief. I mean, like, what else can I say? You know, so I'm wondering how.
It's interesting. His the father card is following the same chain as the mother card, just about. So it's I have a feeling too that he is using somehow or another his father's identity, or he has used it, or some older man. I don't know, it's not necessarily his father, but it's an older man of some sort. And
he was stealing stuff from in Brazil.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I get the same cards, basically. There is illumination upon the past once they start to investigate. If they start to look into something that he's trying to keep secret. Again, hermit and high priestess. Someone is looking behind the couch under the rug. They're looking into his business, basically. They're going to look at it differently because something is coming out. The hangman forces you or gives you the opportunity to look at things in a different light, especially when the tower's forced exposure. You don't want to be exposed, but it's forced. And so it's like something flies out and there's something new that has something to do with a broad location or a location that's not in the U.S. because this would indicate foreign to me because I'm not foreign because I'm sitting here. So this is something elsewhere, possibly a motherland type thing. So wherever he hails from. And that person's recovery or that person's disability or something like that led to their change or even to their death even. There could be something around Alzheimer's too. And so I don't know if his father suffered from that and then he used that for something. I don't know. But there it is. Again, the relationships in the devil and then the star and then the father. So, or older man. So I don't know whose identity he has, if his name is even George Santos, but
everybody that has known him before said they have never known him as George Santos. They've always known him as Anthony DeVolder. Hey, CG. You know, so, and they're asking in the chat, they're wondering if George Santos is his father's name. Like he stole his dad's identity. Huh?
He's I don't know. He's got I don't see. Okay, the high priestess is in house hangman, which means whatever knowledge it has been flipped. So there's something different about him that's secret. That different thing is the secret thing. That's the thing he wants. It's almost like a distraction. Look at this and not that. He's hiding something, but it's like almost in plain sight. The thing with the high priestess is she's not devious secrets unless something says so, like the devil. This is, she's got the knowledge, and if you want it, you have to ask the questions. This is more of people trying to hide things to hurt. This is, he has flipped information. So, because it's in-house hangman. So something like his name, like his age, like his weight, like his something is slightly changed to make you think something else. And so I don't know if his identity necessarily, because he's up here, has been changed, but I would venture a guess that his name is not George Santos, especially with records sitting right beside him.
Yeah.
And then possibly even health records. So I would guess and say his name is not George Santos, but I can't point that out here.
Yeah.
Necessarily. All I can say is he's got a bunch of stuff that's different, and we know that because he's a lie. So
yeah,
there's a bunch of stuff that's just been flipped. But here's the thing. Hangman in House Tower, Tower in House Empress. Something new is about to break that makes people look at him differently. It can't be helped because it's going to be obvious, which means this is proof. Because the Empress provides proof. Now, if you had like the Hermit, that's not proof because it's still in the dark and you're still investigating. The Empress provides proof because you can't be a little pregnant or half pregnant. So it's proof. And so something here is about to break, I think next week, for George, aka whoever knows his name, Santos.
I get that too, because his current line, this is his present. We talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
This right here, job loss, sudden job loss, and he's blocked somehow and suffers. It could also be an investigation that brings him a lot of danger, and he's blocked here. So there's also something here. This could be nervous about a secret that he has on how he was able to travel. Again, going back to this, it could be that his visa or whatever are under a false record around someone that is not around. But here it's like the homeboy, it's looking like he's wanting to move to get away from it. Because you done shit the bed, homeboy. Like all that shit you did is all coming back, you know? It's all returning. And if this and this is what I think it is, then he's looking at serious trouble besides campaign finance fraud. Because now you're talking identity theft, life insurance fraud, Social Security fraud, Medicare fraud, like, and he's not connected. So have fun sitting in prison for many years, you know? Like, how did this guy think this was a good idea? You know what I mean? Like, how did you think this was a good idea? Let me just go defraud all these people, defraud the entire state, and nobody's going to check up on me. Like, none of it's going to leak, you know?
He is definitely going to be investigated for money, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. You can take that one to the bank, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Because I follow the chain for his money and justice, and they both lead in the same place. Like it's because magician is in house Wheel of Fortune. So I follow Wheel of Fortune. So I get Magician. Oh no, I followed Wheel of Fortune first. So I get Magician. Magician's in house Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune's in house Justice. Justice is in house Moon. Moon is in house Strength. And Strength is in house Fool. And then there's your Fool. Then there's your Magician. Back to Wheel of Fortune. And then if you follow Magician, you go to Fool, and then back to Magician. They both lead to manipulation of finance and legal trouble for the Fool, both of them. So if you follow this Justice, what's coming for him possibly next is something to do with money. And if you follow his money, that goes to court. So it's going to be one of these people with 50-11 lawyers like, oh boy.
If I look at this for the campaign finance where he got all that money for his campaign. Love you too, CG. It's nice to see you. I haven't been on very much. And when I do, it's been late. So I haven't seen you or T-Barb or a whole bunch of people in a while. There's a relationship with someone, but that broke. But I don't get money. Because the money card is way down here and it's way over here. So it goes bear to letter to ship to mice to bear. Those resources that he has for this right here, the card to the right, the campaign, were stolen. That's what I get. And the resources, look above here, her. It's funny because I know that it's been reported that he's been linked to some sort of Russian. Am I getting that correct, Johnie? Has he been linked to some sort of Russian oligarch that was giving money to his campaign?
Mm-hmm. He's got a sanctioned oligarch that has given money to his campaign.
See, I don't see that here at all. I see money that he stole from a woman. I don't get an oligarch. How much money was donated to him from the sanctioned guy?
I don't know. Because it was like 4 different people that the article named, but I don't know any amounts though. And maybe that's not the focus of what's coming first. Maybe that's one of them later on type of things.
Because I don't get foreign money, Johnie. I don't. I mean, I guess you could with following that chain, the resources and enterprise that came from abroad.
The only things I get that are overseas or identity and a person that, not identity, but using someone's identity in multiple places that are overseas, and there's a friend or a former friend from overseas that has some dirt, but I don't get foreign money necessarily. Mm-hmm. I do get money or resources or records that travel worldwide, but not Russian influence. But that's probably just something coming later because it's been established already. So we know it to be true, but it's just not in here because I guess it's not important for right now.
Yeah.
Now, the foreign person I do see is more along the lines of someone who's helping him stay in position, but not someone in his campaign.
That's, because I get bear to letter to ship to mice to bear. That's the chain. So the results of large sources of financing from abroad missing or stolen here. Okay. But then when I also look down this chain, it shows that there's 2 older women here that were a source of revenue and income.
Wonder who they are.
She's close to house, so I'm thinking family member of some sort.
Because I get that too.
Like,
he definitely knew who they were, though, so it's not like he just looked in the phone book.
Yeah, I get a close family member, mother, and someone older here too. So
what a piece of work. And he's in the government.
Isn't that a huge, like, isn't that like a huge crime though, to steal money from Social Security and like say that you're the payee, okay, for someone, like you're the caretaker for someone, or you have power of attorney or something like that, and you're the payee for that individual, and you defraud Social Security and continue to collect money even after that person has passed away. Like, isn't that like a huge effing crime? You know, like, oh, I'm just going to keep taking mom's Social Security check even though she passed away 6 years ago. You know, like, I don't know. Connected to a network. There's a connection to a network or linked to a network. Let me see. Work. Growing energy. And then business here. I don't know. This guy's he's a piece of work.
There's something from his younger years coming out too.
Let me see.
So I got the Hermit, the Moon, the World, and the Sun. This has something to do with something that's very deep, so it's probably a long time ago. But there's something from his younger years coming out, being exposed. It's more of a human interest story than it is something illegal. So, like the drag queen thing, and it's more of a clickbait and read the story type thing than it is something illegal or horrible. So there's something coming out there. I wonder too if I still want to know what in the world is going on with the father or an older man, uncle, anybody represented by the emperor. So if I go down with the Fool, the Chariot, the Temperance, and the Emperor, there's a relationship there. Because there's again, that's the kid, that's the father, but there's a relationship because they are working together forces. Not necessarily voluntarily, but chariots and house chariots. So there's movement and working together. So there is something around maybe a car loan, or because I said something about a loan down here too from some man, like a car loan or something in this person's name, possibly too. Record of it.
I wonder if his dad is still abroad, because we don't know much about his family, but the way that everything is being reported, it almost sounds like his mom was either widowed or she was a single mother when she came here to the States. And if I had to guess in this tableau who his dad would be, I would seriously lean towards the Clouds up here because it's close to Child. Clouds is the king of clubs. That's who I would say. So he supposedly killed his mom 3 times, right? She died from cancer, then she died at 9/11, and then again when he started getting harassed by the media just recently, his mom passed away again. So he's killed her off 3 times.
That's a mess. And he's in the government.
This is what I don't understand, dude. At this point, they should make it mandatory. Anybody running for office has to be able to pass a basic freaking background check. Period. period. Because I mean, how in the fucking hell did this clown get into Congress? I know he defrauded everybody, and nobody bothered to look underneath the hood or vet him out, you know. And now he's in there, and McCarthy is not even going to lift a finger to say, "Hey, dude, you need to go," you know.
Yeah, I'll give a good government person is protecting him too. It's a very, very stupid thing to do, but I mean, you know, it's Republican, so there you go. But they're protecting him here. He's got a very successful relationship with someone in the power to manipulate. Why? Again, it's not in the read, mind you, but to me, only reason you protect a person like this is not just for the number. You have to have, he has to know somebody that knows you. And it's almost like Vladimir Putin, who owns the Republicans, are saying, hey, make sure you protect Trump because he's my end to this, he's my end to that. And so it feels like he has to know somebody. It's not in here, mind you. I'm just saying that. It seems like he has to know somebody that knows you, because why else protect him? The number's not that important anymore. You already got your speakership. So
yeah. And that's the thing too. Remember when Turtle was protecting Deripaska because Deripaska decided to open up a plant in Kentucky? Remember that? That happened a few years ago. You know, he's a sanctioned person, but hey, come do business in Kentucky. That's totally cool. I mean, come on. Come on. But I don't know. He is linked. He is linked. The link. Link in house bird.
Dude. Where are you?
I'm wondering when the indictments are going to come, though. Because it says here, another way to interpret this is that there's some big, huge problems, that there's going to be significant results that bring an end. Let me put this up. Another way to interpret the opening of this tableau. Huge problems. Very important results that bring an ending. Coffin in the House of House, so it could technically be the House of Representatives. But it's like this right here, it's saying that it's coming fast. And then this column here is showing it's coming fast, and he's kind of like blocked. I mean, I'm sorry, but I mean, he gets it for world's dumbest criminal, dude. Like, if you know, if you know all the shit you've been doing, why in the hell would you put a target on your back like that?
It's like the people who go and they like rob a convenience store. They got a mask over their face, but their tattoos are exposed and their name badge is on. So it's like somebody knows who you are. But.
And they walk into the store with their license plate, you know, like wrapped around their neck. You know?
You're not getting away with it. I mean, it's all, they never can really commit crimes. Somebody's going to find something. You made a mistake somewhere. I guarantee you. I don't care who you are. You made a mistake somewhere.
But here's the thing, like, I'm wondering if it's because he's been doing it for so long that he just got cocky with it, arrogant. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh, I can do more. They're never going to catch me. Yada yada.
And he hasn't got caught yet. Every time he gets close to it, he flees somewhere.
Yeah. And maybe that's why I'm getting this right here too, because it shows that present he's blocked. But if I follow his line to the right, it shows he transfers and moves.
Mm-hmm.
You would think that they would like that they would huh?
If I follow temperance, temperance is balance, sobriety, moderation, temperance. I get death and lover. So there's a change in relationships because of something devious. Here, for the future, there's a man exposing something from the past. So there's a man about to approach exposing something from the past, which starts an investigation of something secret, and then the information changes, or something secret also possibly about his identity that is starting to be exposed as well, and that starts something new abroad. So there's someone else possibly instead of Brazil that may be coming for his neck too, or multiple places in Brazil. But he's got something else. Someone else is coming for him too. This is why he runs away everywhere. You're gonna make the wrong enemy one day, and somebody gonna catch you, little boy.
Yeah, especially if you got ties to a sanctioned Russian oligarch. Don't be walking near windows anytime soon, because you might have to get in an accident. My suggestion: always make sure you stay on the first floor. Okay, you know.
Don't get on the elevator by yourself, or in fact, actually get on the elevator by yourself. Maybe. I don't know. Take the stairs. How about
It's like, can you imagine, like, okay, so a Russian oligarch, a sanctioned Russian oligarch, donated a bunch of money to his campaign. So he owns your balls right there, and you're going to get yourself caught and arrested. So in order to not be caught and arrested, you decide you're just going to run away. I'm sure that Russian oligarch is going to want his money back, you know, because he didn't pay you to go take a vacation. You know what I mean? Like, you got paid to do some nasty shit, you know? So, I don't know.
I don't either.
Well, that's what I get. That's all I got.
I wonder if it changes much with the pips in there.
Oh, you're going to do it again?
See what else is in there.
Yeah, I get he's very nervous about stolen resources. Stolen resources from the campaign and stolen resources from something that comes from an institution for the public in society.
George Santos. George.
This could be a legal decision that's coming down on him very, very soon. Tower knighting over to Scythe, and Scythe is putting over his head.
Now he comes up as King of Cups in my reads, so there he is. So there's a line naturally.
Johnie,
Start.
Johnie, I'm gonna go downstairs to take my this down, and
Okay.
I'll be back.
So naturally we start with lies, because there's something he's proclaimed his innocence about here that is being rebuked and causes conflict. There's also a fight within something to do with religion or morals or something of that nature, so something conformity. So there's a fight with religion here, and it becomes a bigger deal than people, I guess, thought it would. But you have the Six of Cups, the King of Cups, the Knight of Cups, the Two of Swords, and the Five of Wands. Innocence that is proclaimed has been blocked, and there's a fight. The Magician, the Queen of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups, and the Knight of Pentacles. There's something around his job. No, not his job. Something someone hired him to do. The Knight of Pentacles is not necessarily like the Eight of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles is work, something you do on a regular basis, day in, day out. The Knight of Pentacles is like the contractor, the mercenary, the person you hire to do one thing. So this is your painter, this is your plumber. They don't work at your house every day. So this is the person you hire for a specific thing. There's a manipulation of resources that he is also supposed to do. So I don't know if they have a vote coming up on taxes or land taxes or property taxes or taxes of some sort. There is a manipulation here that he is supposed to do for tax reasons, somebody's taxes. And it might have been the Fair Tax Act that's going to be scrapped pretty much, possibly. But this person's new to him anyway. So this is possibly someone who has just helped his campaign. The Two of Wands, the Emperor, the Eight of Cups, the Page of Swords, and the Eight of Pentacles. There's a lot of trouble at work. Here's your work card. So there's a lot of trouble at work. There's a lot, of course, of calls for him to be booted out and for him to resign. Because here, the Eight of Cups is in house death. Death governs change, transitions, and transformations. Eight of Cups is abandonment. They want you to quit. And the Page of Swords would be your negative news and your gossip and your liar. So they want plans for leadership to call to resign, the liar to resign his job. Eight of Pentacles is in house devil. You got this, I don't want to say illegally, but you got this, I'm going to say illegally for sake of argument, but you got your job through the manipulation of something via the devil. So I would count votes again. I mean, that's just me. I mean, I don't want to be conspiratorial, but his job was not earned through his merit. We'll just say it that way, which we already knew that part, but there it is. The Two of Cups, the Temperance, the Queen of Wands, the Hangman, and the Seven of Swords. There is a grift coming with some woman here. So some woman is helping you steal. There's an agreement and a bond and a union working with someone here, this woman, to steal something, to change its direction and to steal it. So it's coming towards you instead of away from you, whatever that is. Because she's in house moon, so she's treacherous too. So whoever she is ain't no good, and she's helping you change the direction of something here. Hangman is in house sun. Sun is positivity. It's high energy. It is lights. It is anything bright, something successful. So if they have voted upon something, because here's decisions in people and inside, or the spy or the liar or the gossip, and then the Hangman. They're stealing something. They're changing the direction of it, though, to where it's coming towards you instead of away from you. It has something to do with a decision as well. He may have to give some sort of speech or press conference or something that he's about to say here, because Eight of Wands is in House World. World is media for me. So there's something he is going to be talking about, either giving some sort of statement. This may be forced upon him. So there may be someone within the Republican Party that's saying you need to say something. Some people that he knows. This is in House Tower, so his relationships are also going to take a very strong hit over the next few months. So you're going to see people flaking away a lot more. And I think the reason you're going to see them flaking away, because here's your leaderships and balance problems and decisions needs to be made. The reason I think you're going to see that is because there's a lot of stories coming out that you can't keep thumbing your nose at. You can't just keep saying, oh, that's Santos, oh, that's it. No, these are like damaging things to where you're going to have to distance yourself from him. He's not Donald Trump. He doesn't have a pen to sign all your stuff into office. So there's going to be a lot of damage done to his professional relationships. Let's see, Six of Cups, the Magician, the Two of Wands, and the Two of Cups. There's manipulation again from the last one. There's manipulation of something to do with children, but developing. So like K through 12. I don't know why I keep saying that specifically, but it's something about children development, and it's here. There's manipulation of it. Like he could get something over time, or he could, I don't know exactly what that is, but there's something around.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but could it be a social media campaign for children? Because if I follow this line, there's news about children that's being done in good faith to gain loyalty, but then it ruptured because he stole resources, but it was social media. Could it be something like that? Or
I don't know. No idea. But it's something to do with kids and manipulations, and it's for resources. It's for business.
I got child is in the house of bouquet, so that's gifts for children. And then when I follow that line, it's like looking like you're doing it in good faith. It's a good cause, but then it's stolen.
This is in House Magician, so there's manipulation of something to do with children, and then Magician's in House Lovers, so that's supposed to be something good. Like you said, good faith. We're on the same side, and then there's your business card. Plans is in House Justice, so this is something official, something that was done on record, possibly too, but it's stolen. It's in House Tower, so it ended bad.
So I'm wondering if there's going to be, like this line right here. He's got the dog sitting over his head. So it's dog, scythe, mice, and then garden. So this could be in regards to that dog that was ill, that required surgery, but he stole the resources from, but he did a social media campaign. Well, on that same line, further to the left, it shows a child. So I'm wondering if he's done more social media campaigns. Perhaps something with children that he stole from as well, like some sort of a charity of some case. Because on this line, this last line, it shows bouquet, garden, storks, and sun. So there's a charitable cause that is on social media platform. So like a GoFundMe or something like that. I don't know what it would be, where it's the people, the public, that makes it successful because of the donations, so that would be interesting too. If there's something that comes up with him scamming money from children,
It could be, because here's the vet, military man.
And I got the vet here too with the lilies. Lilies, ring, dog. Lilies nights to tree. Dog nights to tree. Tree goes back to man. So a partnership with a veteran in regards to health that he was involved in, that for some sort of a surgery for an illness. Coffin sits over dog. That's an illness. And then stolen. What a son of a bitch, man. Like, you got to be a real mother effer, to steal money from a sick dog. Like, that's just cruel. Do you get money laundering, Johnny?
I get something he was hired to do. So either he is the person they're pouring money into for political favors, or I don't get he's passing money anywhere, but I get it's coming into him. So if that person's laundering, but I don't know where it goes once it gets to him. Like, I don't see that part.
Because you can help me out here, okay?
But he's definitely getting money from multiple sources, and definitely foreign too.
Okay, so here's the finances here, okay? When we talked about this, bear goes to letter, goes to ship, goes to mice. Mice goes back to bear. Okay, the results of foreign money that were stolen. Also, financial records of some sort of enterprise that he stole from. Well, with crossroads right underneath bear, that's a couple of extra sources of income. Bear is knighting here to ring. Bear is knighting here to moon. And it's got whip right here, anchor right below it on the house of fish. The moon is cycles. This is something that has a pattern and is abused. And this goes around and around and around, almost like a washing machine. But what's closest to it is this woman. This right here, these two would have to be closer to indicate a sibling, but I can mirror them to make a sibling. And the ring is over her. So I'm wondering if he's in partnership with a sibling or a sister or something too, to wash money.
Can you tell if she's abroad?
She's not abroad.
No.
She's local. She's here. She's got house here. She's got tower here. She's got tree here. So it's like she's rooted. She's rooted here. And then there's some problematic news about a woman's health, and then transactions and money down this diagonal. And he's got several sources of income that are coming from a woman, but those records are wrong the way that they've been filed. So I'm wondering if, and here it shows two women, so I don't know anything about his sister. I don't know if his sister is ill. I don't know if him and his sister are in partnership with some sort of thing where they're just filing false paperwork or have filed false paperwork. But and then here it's like abuse of power this way, but it could also be abusing or a pattern to these resources and finances. So it could be small gifts with child in the house of bouquet, small gifts or new gifts that is from an abusive friend or a very critical friend. Okay, so it's not really a person, it's just an abusive colleague of some sort. Do you see what I'm saying? With whip in the house of dog, bear in the house of letter, and then anchor in the house of fish. But again, at nights to moon, which is cycles, repetitive, and then here it's it goes around and around and around, if that makes sense. And then here the rider knights down to bear, delivering the resources. Who's delivering the resources? Right here with the, what is this, clouds, the king of clubs, and then there's a king here and a king here. I'm wondering, but I mean, is the guy even smart enough to launder money though?
If you tell him
money was for his campaign and he stole it for himself because he's got the mice right over his head in the house of fish, or in the house of bear. And then it's mice in the house of bear, man here, and then clover.
I did a reading that he is going to have some success when it came to finances. So if this was all just one big cash grabbing opportunity, then he's got it.
Yeah. And that's what it's looking like here, because mice, again, is in the house of bear. That's your resources stolen. Him, and then there's this opportunity right there.
Because he's got a bunch of money. He wrote one single book, given no speeches.
They're saying what, that he went from a $50,000 a year salary to like $700,000 that he donated to his campaign basically overnight.
Where did he even get the $50,000 salary from?
Well, that's true, because everything else was a lie.
Because who was he working for? He claimed to be working for Goldman Sachs and all these different. You didn't work for Goldman Sachs for no $50,000 a year.
And then you have Fox in the House of Clouds. Work problems, or working for someone that's problematic with the King of Clubs. Again, I'm not saying that he's a spy. That's not supported here. It just looks like this guy is just a sneaky, sneaky bastard that acts very impulsively and just steals when he gets an opportunity. You know, this is the kind of guy that you don't invite into your house unless everything is bolted down. You know what I mean? Like,
and if he's a spy, I wouldn't call him a foreign spy, not that type of spy, but he could definitely be, you know, a person who just wants to see where he can get what he can get and smile in your face until he does it.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Because he gets the page of swords, but that's the thief and the liar and the spy. But it's the person that they look like you, so you let them in.
Mm-hmm.
And so he can get into the Republican Party and then find out who to take from and what to take from. But he's not passing info anywhere.
No,
he's stealing.
He's just taking it for himself. Yeah. Yep. I get the same thing. I don't get that he's a foreign agent or anything, intelligence person or any. I don't. I just get that he's, like you just said, he's a person that very sneaky, a thief, and very opportunistic. So he'll, like, when he comes to your house, you better have your couches bolted down. You know, put everything in a safe.
Or he count the bolts because he probably took one.
Yeah. You know, like that's the kind of person that he is. He's just a thief.
Now, could he potentially be open to being a foreign agent? I'm pretty sure. But I just
it's because I get the Fox Knights to ship. So someone sneaky abroad.
Because they all do it at some point. They get owned by somebody else's country.
Shit, Johnny, look at Mike Flynn.
Mm-hmm.
High up in the freaking.
It's a general.
General in the army. But when the opportunity rose for him to turn against his own country for money, he was very cheaply sold.
Like, you're a general. What is more important, being a general or being a foreign agent? Like you're a general. You worked so hard to get there. Your ticket is wrote now.
Mm-hmm.
You can basically, I mean, I don't want to count the money, but you can coast through life now.
Yeah.
And no, let's give it up so I can be. It's just I can't with him.
Mm-mm.
Now
And
he's traveling the country doing revivals.
What surprises me is that nobody has court-martialed him, drug his ass back. You know, like
He has no shame.
mm-mm,
He definitely ain't gonna do it himself.
mm-mm, mm-mm.
These people, Jesus.
It's gross. It's really gross.
Now, mind you, if we want to spy talk, both of these are spy cards, mind you. But it's something to do with work and finance, not necessarily info. Info would be more swords.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a spy because he snuck into the camp and stole the swords. This is a spy because that's the spy card. And so he has infiltrated the Republican Party. And so he's finding out where he can get more money.
Yeah.
And I think, that he will get it. He's finding where the money is.
I can't believe they had him in the small business committee and then
any committee. That's going to cause a lot of balance problems for him, though, because the bigger the lie, the less it's like the snowball. It just grows and grows and grows, and you have to tell one to cover the last one. And as I say, if you tell the truth, you don't have to have a good memory.
Yeah.
And so it's going to put some balance issues because at some point, well, no, not at some point, people are going to find out. And there it is. He's a thief. Thief and a liar. I mean, you don't need cards for that, but there's a thief and a liar.
Mm-mm-mm.
Both of them right there. Especially around work and jobs. Because he doesn't just work for the government. He's been contracted for something. His relationships are going to be destroyed, though, little by little.
Oh, yeah. I got that too right here. Ring, dog, scythe.
Mm-hmm.
And then mice.
It's in House Tower. Cut off.
Mm-hmm.
Because at some point, you're going to recognize you cannot keep standing by him. And he's doing you harm as well as your party.
And good luck on your next con, because now everybody know your face.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody knows your face. You're going to have to go to some communist country where nobody knows you.
And that's another thing. They always sort of slide through life like Donald Trump, and then they hit the wrong button and get all this attention. Donald Trump, that's all he ever wanted. Now he's got more attention he knows what to do with.
Yeah. And it's bad attention, too, because it's like a reckoning. It's a reckoning. It's like you're a 70-something-year-old man. You've been doing this since you were, 18, 19 years old. You've been a piece of crap your whole entire life.
Mm-hmm.
You had to go for the big con. And, they say that the only reason he ran for president was to revive his brand.
Yeah,
okay?
Just attention. That's all he wanted.
He got the presidency, and there was his opportunity to do the right thing and maybe turn a new leaf and not be an asshole. What did he do? He went and stuck his 1 centimeter freaking Cheeto puff penis in the whole world's face.
Mm-hmm.
And now you got everybody coming after you. Like when you could have just stayed in New York and kept fucking scamming everybody and stealing money and doing everything you were doing, you never would have been caught. Ever.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
It's like a wish from a jinn. It's like, I want to be able to fly, and then you jump up and you fly, but they give you the ability to fly, but not the ability to come back down.
Yeah.
It's like it's always a little kick in the pants in whatever you wish for. You want attention, But then you got attention from courts and lawyers and activist groups and old
Mm-hmm.
porn stars and then Michael Cohen's. And it's like, so then you got all this attention that you didn't want. Well, you asked for attention. You didn't say good attention.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, not even good attention, but good attention for you. It could be good attention for the New York Times and the Washington Post, who need to sell papers. And so it's good attention for them.
Mm-hmm.
Lord have mercy. He revived the newspapers, if I tell you that.
Yeah, seriously. And the media played a big role, because he was the circus, the freaking clown show, and everybody, it was constant cameras on him, basically giving him free press to see what the next horrible thing he was going to do. You know, he became a spectacle, and that's what got him into office. You know, like.
George Santos' latest lie is that he was one of the producers on the Spider-Man musical. That's what came out today.
Are you serious?
Uh-huh. That's what, according to the article anyway, he said he was one of the producers on the Spider-Man musical. Now, the Spider-Man musical was a flop, but he said he was one of the producers.
You know, it's funny. In his tableau, he's got snake in the house of tree, tree in the house of man, man in the house of crossroads. And it could be construed as a person that has a health issue that is very problematic, a health issue of a liar. And the tree is all your health, your mental, emotional, spiritual, physical health, all of it. And he lands in house crossroads. I'm wondering if part, if not all, of his issues with being a liar, it's health related, but I'm wondering if some of it has to do perhaps with some sort of undiagnosed bipolar thing. But it's like he falls. I'm not a psychologist, take my word with a grain of salt. I've only read the DSM-4, and it's been a long time since I've been in school. But he falls into like the cluster B, the antisocial personality, which is it's a bad term, you know, because when I think antisocial, I think of myself. Like, I don't like to be around people. You know what I mean? But in the cluster B, you have your psychopaths, you have your sociopaths, and borderline. No, it's not borderline. Is it borderline personality disorder that falls under cluster B? But it's almost like he's sociopathic. Do you see what I'm saying? But it's like his tree and snake, it's like health problem or a health issue that has to do with lying, you know? That's crazy. But with the crossroads, that would be like health related. That would be like someone that, like bipolar of sort.
Because in the last tableau, I got the strength is good health. That's your indication of good health. And the star in the temperance, your star is your indication of getting better. There's the devil was in there. Your temperance for me in these in particular reads are indications of your health or where it is. And the world is in house temperance. Temperance is in house death. Now, the moon, again, is in house strength. So that would govern your good health. And the moon would command sort of your thoughts and your lunacy, if you will. And then the tower is above that. So he definitely has a mental illness. But I think, everybody probably got one from just trauma from your childhood. Yeah. His is dramatic in nature, if you ask me. Because there's something that he can't turn off. And it's most people are adjusted or can be adjusted in situations to where you won't have a panic. If you're antisocial, you're not going to have a panic attack if you have to go into a group of people. Some people can't turn that off, though. And some people would. And so I think whatever is causing him to be so duplicitous in his nature, he can't turn off.
Yeah. And it's funny too, because I remember way back when, way decades ago when I was in school, I remember my instructor when we were going over, the clusters and stuff, saying that it's a bad thing to say, but in their industry, when they have patients that are presenting as cluster B, there's like inside jokes within people of the field that are like, oh yeah, have a family reunion there with a bunch of cluster Bs, and I remember narcissism, psychopaths and sociopaths falling under cluster B. The first one I know, I remember my instructor specifically saying it's treatable with medication and cognitive therapy. And I can't remember it was borderline or what it was. But the others, like narcissism, good luck with a patient with that. But sociopaths, forget it. You know what I mean? It's like it's like talking to a brick wall. Like you're just not going to, no, antisocial, no, suburban housewife. Antisocial, according to the DSM-5, which is the Diagnostic Statistical Manual for Mental Disorders, 5th edition, does not mean that you don't like to be in society. It just means that you don't conform with societal norms. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you have no remorse, you have no guilt, you have no empathy, nothing towards others, dead. You know what I'm saying? Like George Santos, the guy just stole money from a freaking dying dog and just doesn't give a shit. Donald Trump, the same thing. He doesn't care. So it's crazy. And you know what's weird too? They interviewed on CNN a few weeks ago. They interviewed the boyfriend from Brazil, and you got that in one of your readings a while ago, where he had asked somebody young or something. Well, he had asked that kid to marry him, and the kid was 18 years old, and Santos was like in his mid-20s or something.
Mm-hmm.
And in the interview, the guy was saying that that he had met George Santos's mom. Well, he knew him then as Anthony DeVolder, and his mom knew what a freaking liar George Santos was. Like, she would say, like, George and his stories. Like, so even back then, like, it's insane.
I was gonna ask. Well, I wonder what she thinks of him now, and that maybe I don't need to ask that, I guess. Let's ask anyway. Why does she think of him now? What about now? I'm disappointed. I hear, there it is. That's what I heard. Okay. It's just, I'm disappointed because it's not who he was. That's not who he was raised to be. Again, when you raise children, you do have to understand that they are not computers. They're people. So they're still going to do what they want. But this was not her intention for him to be this way. So yes, she is disappointed. She feels cut off from him as well, isolated and cut off. She wants him to go back. There was a point in time where he was not this person. She wants him to go back to when he was this person. He had dreams and goals and aspirations to be like a banker or investment banker or somebody that was moving and shaking in the financial industry. She wants him to go back to that because he sort of lit up when he talked about these type of things. Now he was probably very, very, very young. Yeah, he has abandoned established truths and things of that nature. He's a completely different person than the person she knows, which is why she's disappointed. She cannot fix him. She cannot save him. So this is part of her disappointment. She is saying, so because you can't force a person to change, but this weighs heavily because she's saying she cannot fix, she cannot change. There's someone around him that is also pulling him in a direction he doesn't need to go. And it's this person here. And so nothing is helping. There's a person from his past that she would love for that person somehow or another, she feels anyway, could break a chain, break the mentality to break wherever he is. This person is still got some of the old, so I guess memories that would bring some innocence back to him. That would bring some light back to him, some joy, she says, because I think he's also in a dark place, she said. So his mental health or his mental well-being is going to decline too, because I think he has now gotten into an arena where he doesn't fully understand what he's. Oh, that's yeah, okay. I wasn't looking. Yeah, he doesn't fully understand what he's doing. This is going to become a burden, and there's no way to get out of it. Well, there's a way to get out of it. It's just not going to be easy because he's now dealing with, sanctioned Russian oligarchs. This is not a world that you and I travel in. So how do you break out of that lifestyle? You can't just quit them. So she's kind of afraid of him or afraid for him. And
finance fraud. I mean, the media always outside his office asking questions. I mean, it's just.
She could visit him, but not where he is. Spirits on the beyond hold no attachment to their physical body, but it would be wherever she is. It would, even if she's cremated, it would behoove him to visit her there. This is, if hypothetical, mind you, if she could visit him there. He's in a place mentally right now where he is not open to anything. Mm-hmm. Huge losses are coming, and she's also afraid for him for that because it's going to have an effect on the mentality. Because he's gotten what he wants, but he's going to lose what he needs. And so there's a problem coming there. Also, watch your health, especially in the cold months. Just watch that because you can also be very contagious around the office. So, like he's listening to me, but watch your health because it's going to affect other people around you.
I'm wondering if he's about to. We know he stepped down from committees. I don't see this in the. Well, yeah, the bottom line, it could be interpreted that way. Birds, house, bear, tree, clover, mountain, heart, and sun. How he stepped down from committees, and now that I'm looking at it, I'm wondering if there was a closed door meeting with Kevin McCarthy where they were just like, yo, this doesn't look good, you need to step back. Mm-hmm. Just went out and made it sound like it was his decision. But on his current line, it's Fox in the house of clouds, Scythe in the house of fox, man in the house of crossroads, mountain in the house of lilies, and then cross in the house of cross. I'm wondering if he's about to because Fox and Scythe, that's job loss, like a sudden job loss. And then he's removed and blocked. I'm not saying Kevin McCarthy's going to but he sits in House Crossroads, so it's like a vote, you know, him voting or a decision around him that's very important. But it's like something's coming this month where there's a job loss.
Mm-hmm.
And it revolves around some very problematic news that shows the answers are in the paperwork or in the results of something, you know, death certificates, stuff like that. We talked about that earlier, but I'm wondering if he's going to be like this month, you know, because that can't be good. Like, you have the entire Republican Party in New York pissed. You have the whole voter base in New York pissed. Kevin McCarthy's like, oh, we follow the Constitution until we don't. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you know, until we decide Donald Trump trumps the Constitution, you know? And then you have the other 4 new Congress members from New York that are effing pissed that Kevin McCarthy is allowing this blasphemy, because these are new Congress members. Now they got to think about maintaining their seats for the next midterms. You know what I'm saying? So, because this is like job loss. That the column that he's sitting there on right now, the sudden job loss, and the scythe is kind of like getting cut out, you know. So and then it's
I got someone in politics is trying to help him for the time being, keep his position, or at the very least keep him out of court in the limelight. But that's, again, with that 2 of Cups and House Tower, it's only going to last so long until you have to abandon ship, because what is he doing for you? He's not Donald Trump.
Nope. And he sits on House Crossroads with the clover right below him. It's temporary. It's very temporary and short-lived, but with long-term suffering and consequences for him. And then it's man, ship, and stork. So I'm wondering if there's a sudden job loss and then he transfers and moves. And it's not just about the campaign. It's about an investigation for something secret. Because it's snake, fox, and book, lies, and then an investigation for secret, you know? So I don't know, like, he's still new. So, you know, background checks and security clearances and stuff take a while. There might be something that is found in a background check that raises alarms, you know? Because below that is dog, scythe, and mice. So if you interpret dog as being trustworthy, well, then you have the scythe right behind it says no. And then mice behind that, no. You can't trust this person because there's sudden losses and a dangerous thief. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like a compilation of a bunch of stuff. And then I see a job loss. And a transfer and a move. So. Yeah, the sane Republicans want him gone because now he's just the face of him and MTG. Like, that's the face of your party right now. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, did you see, Johnie, Monistat Trader Gangrene the other day with her, now that she's on a committee and she's leading the committee, talking to that person during the committee hearing about how one school got $5.2 billion to teach CRT and diversity. It's like, what the one school, she's claiming one school got $5.2 billion. I'm like, what the hell? They open up a Disneyland in that school?
Diversity?
Huh?
The one school got $5 billion just to teach diversity.
Yeah. CRT and diversity. She said
Give
it
me
came
$5 billion
out of her
if you,
mouth.
I can teach it.
But that's the thing. That's the thing. CRT isn't even taught in schools. It is a subject that alumni and other people that have graduated universities talk about. It's a research topic. So,
yeah.
you know, but that's how stupid she is. It's just like she went Control F on the Google machine and just handpicked a couple of things and was just too stupid, or her staff was too stupid to put it together. And then she's sitting there in the committee saying that one school got $5.2 billion.
Worry? I mean, what? I mean, I get it. If you are one of the white people on Earth that has white guilt, or if you're one of the white people on Earth that hates to hear, you know, white people are this or white people are that, I get it, because it sounds like you beat up on all white people when you say white people. But at the very same time, if you ain't, a hit dog will holler. If you ain't talking to me, you ain't talking to me.
Yep.
So if I'm a white person and I'm not some racist piece of garbage, then you're not talking to me. So let me join the conversation and I can help you bash those same people, but I'm not one of those white people. So I don't get why they want to run away from race talk so much, unless you're one of those people that feel guilty about everything you hear.
And it doesn't just stop there. There's certain red states that want to not call slavery anymore. They want to call it forced
relocation. Sounds like kidnapping, so it's still not a good thing. So
forced relocation. Oh, you forced me to move out of my house. Okay, now does that cover how these people were beat to death, raped, murdered, lynched
for hundreds of years?
For hundreds of years.
After you killed the people who were already living here.
Yeah. No, we just forced them out of Africa. What? You know what I mean? Like, make that make sense. You know? But it's just a shit show over there in the House, man. It's just like, oh, and then Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz are going at it now.
Oh Lord, is he calling her a whore too?
No, he said, he posted something on Twitter. You know, in his defense, he was like saying something nice about her on Twitter, and she just went balls to the walls on him, like just chewed his ass out about how he made a mockery of the House and this, that, and the other thing by not letting Kevin McCarthy become speaker and all this other stuff. And it's just like, oh my God.
You were there too, so I mean,
yeah. And then all that stuff when they kicked off Ilhan Omar off her committees, and the Democrats just, the speeches that they did were great, you know, like talking about how, because their whole thing is, you know, Ilhan Omar has said anti-Semitic things, and they're pointing out how Monistat was talking about Jewish space lasers, and Paul Gosar was posting pictures of him decapitating AOC and shooting her, and like, you know, like, so it was just, it's, man, I can't with these clowns. I can't.
They don't want to.
You're about to shit it all away come next midterms. You done showed your ass.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Johnie, would you be down tomorrow or sometime? We can talk about it, to do a grand tableau on DeSatan in Florida, because we were talking about that too. What the new thing that he's trying to do down there in Florida.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you just let me know.
Yeah, because we were for those of you in the chat, I had seen something on Twitter, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And I was telling Johnie about it, Johnie and Jenny, and it sounds like Ron DeSantis is trying to pass new legislation requiring parents of minors to report their daughter's menstruation to some freaking board, and college female athletes will be required to report their menstruation cycle. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? You know, like, and I was telling Johnie, I was like, I hope, I know it's petty and it's wrong, but I hope these women are like, oh, you want to know when I'm perioding? I'm gonna save up all my sanitary napkins for the month and I'm gonna send it to you.
We'll
You know,
send
like
with the date written on each one of them.
yeah. You know, I mean, it's just like, what the fuck, man? Are they gonna make it illegal for women to have periods next? You know, like I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. And what I don't understand even more is how he has not been challenged on anything. On anything. You know, like I had seen something with that one lawyer. I don't remember his name, the black civil rights lawyer, after he tried to ban
the AP studies.
Yeah, the AP Black History Studies. There was that one lawyer, I forgot his name, and I've seen him before, that was saying that they would file a lawsuit against him. But already, the college campuses and stuff are bending over and saying, okay.
See, Delilah, that's what I said. I wonder if they were trying to find all the transgender girls in the sports. I said what they should do is all the boys should also report their cycles too, just to break the system. Like everybody, send all of your information.
Yeah.
Whatever the system is, just register for it and just start typing mess in there.
Yeah. Yeah. And that goes for you too, ladies that are, in your menopause years and stuff. You know, I mean, it's like, are you asking men for their sperm counts every day? Once a month? Like, I mean, what the fuck, you know? And how sick is that? How sick is it that a whole bunch of dirty old, grubby old perverts on a board somewhere, who are not doctors, by the way, they're not doctors, to have to know when my daughter or when I'm on my freaking period. And I know it sounds gross, but I told Johnie, I was like, start sending your dirty ass sanitary napkins, your tampons, your pads, everything to them. You know, you want to know what's going on in my pussy? Here you go. You know, like, I mean,
this fell out today. You can have it.
Yep.
It's all yours. Because why do you it blows my mind. First of all, you probably don't understand the first thing about a menstruation cycle.
Nope.
And then you want to know mine? No, go away.
Yep. They couldn't.
When you have one, then let's talk about it. They
couldn't tell you how a female's reproductive system works. You know, but they want to control it. And it's like, how gross is that, dude? Even when I was growing up, when I first got, my period, when I was a kid, even my dad didn't want to know. So why the fuck are a bunch of old men on a board and the governor of the state want to know when I'm on my period? Why is it your business? You know? It's just like, ugh, so gross.
I don't get it.
I mean,
I do get it, but it's still stupid. It's this whole I own the world because I'm a man thing has got to stop at some point.
It's almost like it's the last desperate hoorah of the patriarchy or something, dude, because this is insane. It's absolutely insane.
Thank you, Joan. What are they going to do if your cycle is irregular? Are they going to put you in jail?
Yeah.
Like, why do you need to know what you're going to do afterwards?
But you know why some women get on birth control? Because their freaking cycle is irregular. But let's do away with birth control too. You know, it's like, it's like these people that don't have a clue what the F they're doing. They're not even doctors. They couldn't even pass nursing school if they tried. Sitting there trying to regulate a woman's body when they don't even know how the hell it works. You know, and there's a million different things that could go wrong with a woman's period. There could be months where you skip a period because you're under stress. You're not eating well. You may not be sleeping. Perhaps your exercise regimen has knocked it up a bunch. And your body fat as a woman has gotten so low that your body just doesn't menstruate anymore. What are they going to do? Throw you in jail because, you didn't get your period? Like, what the fuck? You know, it's like, what are we, cattle and brood mares? You know what I mean? Are they going to walk around stamping every woman in the ear to track us? You know? It's like, dude, how about you start worrying about issues that impact communities instead of a woman's fucking period, you know?
Mm-hmm. Focus on the only planet you have to live on would be great for a start.
Oh, I saw that too, Carmen. All the school teachers in Florida are removing all the books from their classrooms for fear of being thrown in jail for teaching something or having a book in their school, in their classroom, that Ron DeSantis doesn't like. That's why I'm like, yeah, Republican Party, make little Nazi your Republican nominee. So when we boot him in the ass, maybe then Florida will have a chance to not have such an asshole for a governor, you know? It's incredible to me.
Racist and misogynistic. There's Republican Party written all over him.
Yep.
And they want that for president?
But it's like, how does that make your life better, Johnny? That's what I don't understand. These stupid voters that are like, yeah, how does you controlling or knowing a woman's cycle improve your life in any way? Does it make your bills go down? Does it put more money in your pocket? Does it increase or better your health care? Does it put more food on your table? Does it better your children's education? Does it impact your life in any way? No.
Negatively, yes, because now you've upset half the women in the world. Or in this country.
Late again, fucker.
You know, it's like that's pretty much all you've done is then you've made half the women in this country upset. And so that has never been a good thing to do.
Put a woman in power and have her, and I'll say this till I'm blue in the face, start mandating fucking vasectomies and see how quick their heads explode. See how quick their heads explode. Because it's
hands off my body. Don't do that to me.
Don't mess with my balls. What's that?
They would say, hands off my body. Don't do that to me.
Yeah. My body, my choice. Except when you're a woman, then we want to know when your period's happening. We want to throw you in jail if you miscarried. You know, like, and it's these fundamentalist ideas that are being fed by these religious zealots as if God controls everything. Do you know the 8,000 different things that can happen during a pregnancy that can put the child at risk or the mom at risk? And how cruel is it to force a woman to give birth to a child that has no chance of survival because of health issues?
Mm-hmm.
But it's God's will, you know? It's like, that's fine. If that's what you want to believe your God is, that's fine. But don't force it down everybody else's throats, you know?
Yeah. Especially when it's not true.
Huh?
Especially when it's not true.
Yeah. Especially when you're using a flying spaghetti monster that's not here to defend itself as, you know, as your authority. You know what I mean? Like, come on. But it's just crazy. So I would be interested to looking at him too, because there is no way in hell. Because now what are you doing? Isn't that violating some sort of HIPAA law? Or so I know that HIPAA has to do with your medical records and everything, but what gives the state the right to know when a woman is menstruating? And by the way, that information isn't going to your doctor. It's going to a board full of old men.
Mm-hmm.
So how the fuck is that even legal? You know?
Stupidest thing I've ever heard.
I don't get it. Meanwhile, I bet you that fucker is addicted to nasty ass porn. Remember what we were talking about the other day on
Let go, Alex.
Oh, yes, you guys in the chat. Oh,
Lord Jesus.
I was texting Johnny and Jenny about some new stuff that came out about Alex Jones. And we were cracking up because, Johnny, you want to take it away?
So, mind you, you get down with whatever you want to get down with, mind you. Let me say that first of all. But Alex Jones, what was he texting his ex-wife?
Mm-hmm.
And apparently he likes transgendered porn. But his excuse, I guess, because you know they're Republicans, so this is not something they're supposed to like. He says everybody watches it. That is his, I guess, defense for liking transgendered porn.
Uh-huh. And those text messages were revealed. Those text messages were revealed as part of the court cases that he has against the Sandy Hook parents have against him for defamation during the discovery period, when his lawyers accidentally sent all the text messages to the defendants. And no, wait, it's not the defendants.
To the prosecutors.
Yeah, it's the what is it? Defendants. So he's the defendant, the people, the plaintiffs. Okay. So when his lawyers fucked up and sent, I'm saying fucked up loosely. It was probably on purpose, but when they accidentally sent the lawyers of the parents all his text messages, that's when it was revealed the conversations that he was having with his ex-wife about gay porn. She sent him a picture of a black penis, and she was like, here you go be bi, and he didn't reply. He was drunk texting his dad, and his dad never answered him. Like, drunk texting. There was text messages from employees at his job where he was texting porn to, and not just any porn, gay porn, trans porn, gangbangs with women. So you're talking one girl and like 20, 30, 40 guys, whatever, just texting that stuff to people at work, like, and it's not even, and this is the stuff that he talks on his show about, like, railing against that stuff. But meanwhile, he's at home, drank an entire keg of beer, and he's beaten off to this stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
mm-hmm. And crazy thing is, you're a Democrat, nobody cares. Yep. Do what you want to do, because that's not the side of history we stand on, where we slut shame or porn shame or whatever you want to call that. Sin shame.
Yep.
Do what you want to do. Who cares?
And stay the hell out of my business. But the thing is, my biggest problem with him is how he mobilizes his audience to target these communities, gay communities, trans communities, all of them. Parents of, mass murderers in schools, all of it. He mobilizes and weaponizes his speech for his audience to do things against others that is just awful and harmful, but meanwhile, he's secretly doing the same thing he's pointing the finger at other people for, if not worse, so I don't get it, man. It's just like, what the hell? The whole world went crazy.
And then his defense is, everybody does that. Well, no, everybody doesn't. So
yeah, not everybody watches porn.
And then again, nobody needed an explanation from you either. So it sounds like you're trying to get in front of the horse. So
it's just crazy to me. And then there were text messages between him and his wife/ex-wife, the wife that's trying to divorce him right now, or whatever it is, that, and it could have been because he was so freaking drunk. I mean, you could tell he was just shit-faced, but innuendos that would suggest that, he's bi. And it's like, your sexual preference, I don't care. It's none of my fucking business. I don't give a shit, But again, where I draw issue with that is how he attacks these people. Meanwhile, you're doing this thing like Lindsey Graham. Same thing with Lindsey Graham and all these other fucking punks. The guy from CPAC that's sitting there railing against the gays, but then he's in his limo groping his assistants that are male.
It's always a Republican.
Yeah, it's always the grabby old perverts, man. But
I mean, we had Anthony Weiner, but that doesn't count.
We had Anthony Weiner, and the Dems were real quick to kick his ass out. But whatevs. Well, that was fun, Johnny. Thank you so much for joining me.
You just let me know on the next one, and
I'll see how I'm feeling tomorrow, because here's the thing. I have been awful with my sleep. I've been staying up all effing night.
Me too, and I'm going to do it again.
I'm going to do it again too, because you know why? I didn't go to sleep till 2 o'clock in the afternoon today. So now, even though I woke up at 6:30, I'm like, I'm wide awake. So I'm going to stay up and read, which means I probably won't go to bed till like 7 o'clock or 8 in the morning.
Yeah, same thing. It's 11:30 here, just about, and I'll be up until 8 o'clock a.m. tomorrow, possibly. I have nothing to do tomorrow, so I already did all my recordings, and I'm trying to post. I need to upload the rest of my videos, but that's about it. Okay. And that's it. I might go to the store. I think that's the.
Can you text me if you do a live? Can you text me before you go to the store? Because my ass, I'm telling you, I'll be like knocked out and be like, damn it, I missed Johnie on your live.
I'm not. Oh no, we're not all walking to the store.
Oh,
I think that's the only thing on my agenda for today.
Oh, okay. I like.
I have nothing. I got nothing to do. Now, mind you, I have time to do a live stream, but. Am I gonna turn the cameras on and all that stuff? Probably not.
That's my problem too. It's like get up and turn the computer on, and but then it's like, oh, but then I got to go get this and get that and da. It's just so much easier to sit my ass on this bed and just keep reading. You know what I mean?
Because mind you, when I left Florida, I said I want a setup where all I have to do is just push go live. Everything is easy, because sometimes I get lazy and I don't feel like setting all this up.
Yeah.
You got the camera, the lights, and the microphone, and the YouTube, and the StreamYard, and the click to this, the click that, save this, upload. Like I don't feel like doing all that. So I wanted an easy setup. Now I have it, and I still don't do it. So
I don't do it because I got to set up. I mean, you saw this room. I got to take the computer out, hook up the camera, take out the book, get my cards, and it's something that can take me 10 to 15 minutes, but that's 10 to 15 minutes. I don't want to. I just don't want to do it,
it's just, I don't know. I don't feel like it have to. And then, mind you, it's also sometimes I ain't got but one thing to read on, and then I'll just be sitting here for 2 hours doing nothing. So.
Fun time chat with Johnie is fun.
Maybe I'll do that.
Yeah. Fun time
Sometimes I ain't got nothing to say.
You know what you should do? You should get like your little iPad and put like a fireplace. You know how on YouTube it's got like those ambiance videos? Mm-hmm. So get like an ambiance video of like a fireplace, and then we can sit there and chat with you, so you can be like FDR with his fire night chat. Fireplace. Just put it in the background.
Because I need to do more live streams, but I don't have anything to live stream on.
Yeah, I need to do more too. I mean, I have plenty, but it's just like I said, I'm being lazy and I don't want to set up, Which I was telling Johnie earlier. I was like, I need to clean this damn room, and I told Johnie, I was like, I brought this up here so that I can dust everything. It's been sitting up here for days. I'm too lazy because I got to take all the books down, wipe down all the shelves, because I don't just surface clean. Like I take everything out and dust everything, And I'm just like, no, I don't want to do it. But then I look around and I was like, girl, you got to, because it's just like, I hate seeing dust, but ay. Well, all right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out tonight. And we will see you next time. Keep an eye out, because I don't know when next time will be. Sunday will be on my channel. Lori's going to be joining us. Lori from The Way of Positive Change. And then Johnie and Jenny. And we'll see how Johnie and I are feeling tomorrow to see if we want to go live. No promises being made. We're fickle people. We're very fickle people. All right, everybody. Good night. Bye-bye.